All right, honey, tell them what we're doing today.
We are making our meat shawl for our Cornish cross because
meat birds.
Yes, they are almost 3 weeks old and they should be going out to pasture soon. And so we're getting it ready to put over at the farm and put them in.
That's right. So I got it laid out with basically going to be a 10-foot square. I got the 2x4s laid out on 2-foot on centers. So I'm just going to take the framing gun and nail them in, and then I got some plywood we're going to use for gussets in the corners to give it a little bit more rigidity. And that's probably about all we're going to get done today, because the wheels are on order, the fencing's on order. We got a water, but that's irrelevant to the structure.
Yeah.
I don't know. We got to buy some roofing, but outside of that, I guess it's just framing day. Yep, that's good. So just a quick update on the meat birds. I guess since we're making the meat shawl, these guys are still in the brooder, obviously, but we have them going. What do we say? Turn the lights off, turn the heat lamps off. Trying to harden them off to the heat a little bit, so the heat lamps are on 12, off 12 kind of thing. But they are exactly 3 weeks old, and that is a gallon and a half, honey?
Yeah.
It's a gallon and a half water, and you can get an idea as to just how big these birds are. I mean, that's easily bigger than my fist, and he's only 3 weeks old.
They're huge.
And they're eating, I don't know how many pounds a day, at least 5 pounds probably.
Oh yeah.
They're going through a 50-pound bag in less than a week, probably 6 to 7 days for 50 pounds. I mean, look at them. They're getting so big they don't even stand up to eat. It'll be good to get them out on the grass to see if anything changes.
Woo!
Yeah, that gun doesn't mess around.
That kind of surprised me with how loud it was.
It's pretty powerful. Oh man, the knees are not happy about this. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people use screws, but oh well. If it comes apart, I'll put some screws in it.
There you go.
Look at these boards.
They're so bowed.
What do you pay? Like 20 bucks? No, what is it? $1 a foot? $10 a board is what we paid.
Because lumber prices are ridiculous.
Stinking all twisted and warped up.
And we go through and try to find the ones that are the most straight.
Well, they sat for a while.
Yeah, that's true.
They sat in the garage though, it wasn't in the sun.
True.
Usually the sun warps them really quickly.
And this one was so bowed that he had to put on these clamps so it could be put together. And that worked. Good job.
I'd draw it in a little bit. All right, so that wraps up the overall frame. Got all the nails in, everything's nice and tight. And I got a couple pieces of plywood here that I don't know if that shows up on camera. Yeah, you can see that. Put some chalk lines for to make some gussets. I just got to get those cut out. All right, so I got the gussets cut out, and now we just have to square it up, and then I'll screw the gussets in place and hope they are big enough to do provide enough stability. So we'll see. Perfect.
Yay.
Okay. All right, so we went to the trouble of squaring it up just so when we go to put the roofing on that it fits on nice and straight and looks good, and I don't have some weird angles hanging off the edges and have some strange cuts and things like that. So we're gonna go ahead and get the gusset screwed in and see how stiff it is. I may have to cut, I only cut 4, I may end up cutting 4 more and putting some on the interior pieces as well. All right, we got the gussets all screwed down and just got to give it a little rack test here, see how strong it is. I don't really know the easiest way to do that.
A rack test?
Yeah, let's see if it will twist.
Oh.
See how much it's twisting?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I don't like that.
I don't either.
Alright.
So what do? You have to put bracings in?
I'm going to cut 4 more and put them on the interior.
Okay.
On these 4 inside.
Okay.
And then when we screw, the problem is we're going to use plastic roofing.
Yeah.
So I don't want that roofing to carry the load because it'll break.
Right.
So, and I don't want to sheet the whole thing with a piece. If I put one piece of plywood all the way across it, it wouldn't have any problems, but that's just a waste of money.
Yeah. All right, so now I put in 4 more and he's going to see if it's stiff enough now. It looks better.
It's better. It's still got some wiggle to it.
Doesn't look nearly as bad.
It'll probably be okay though, because it's
Okay.
on wheels.
Yeah.
Right.
It doesn't look nearly as bad as it did.
I mean, I can cut those boards there and put them in the middle, but I just don't want to.
That would waste our 2x4s.
I just don't want to.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe
Looks
I'll
good.
put it on the wheels and then see if it has any wiggle.
Okay. Sounds
the
good.
wheels are gonna give.
Right.
You know, it's got another.
Nah,
degree
that's
of
true.
freedom there.
That's true. Okay.
Okay, so I went ahead and put put the actual assembly together for the meat shawl. We got these wheels off of Amazon. If we can remember, we'll go ahead and put a link in the description below. But this is it's a 24-inch wheel, solid rubber tire, so it's basically run flat. You know, no leaks. What I did was it had a 3/4 inch axle, or a 3/4 inch bearings, I should say. So I went to Tractor Supply, bought some 3/4 inch bolts and some nuts, and welded those nuts to a scrap piece of steel. Put a couple holes in the steel and bolted that up to the wood. So I've got basically all 2x4s. This is a piece of 3/4 inch plywood. This 2x4, what I did was I drilled a 3/4 inch hole in it, and then I cut a slot on the bandsaw. So this screw over here goes straight through with no nothing unusual. This block, or this screw goes through. Whenever it tightens down, it closes the gap, right? So it pinches the axle to keep it from backing out. Because I didn't have any way to retain the bolt in the nuts. That was easy. That was the easiest way I could think to come up with. And I needed a spacer to offset the height anyway, so that just seemed to make sense. So I mean, right now it's upside down, obviously, but this piece will go underneath the frame rail on the meat shawl, and then the shawl frame will sit here, and then I'll be able to secure this whole assembly through the 2 ends. Yeah, we'll go out and see how it fits. Okay, so I got it all lined up here on the frame, and I'll show you just how that's going to fit. So I showed you a little bit ago, the frame will sit right inside those 2x4s, and those 2x4s are basically just spacers to well, square up this inside joint, if nothing else. All right, there's one down. We'll go do the other one. Well, got the wheels on. We'll take her for a test drive. Oh man, that doesn't weigh anything. It's right in the middle. That's nothing. That rides real smooth, pretty straight. That worked pretty good. All right, well, I got it over here on the cement where I could get a pretty accurate height to get it level. So the wheels are on, they work real well. And I just got these handles on for the pull bar that I'm going to have to put on. So all I did here was I just cut a piece of 2x4 off the front to come down, screwed this in from the back side, and I got a piece of pressure treated down where it's going to hit the ground. So all we got to do now is I got to go buy some roofing and probably a piece of conduit here for this pull bar.
All right, so Nick is putting the roofing on. We tried to get 10 foot since that's how wide it is, but...
I thought it came in 10
Huh?
foot. Thought it came in 10 foot.
Yeah, we thought it came in 10 foot, but it only came in 8 foot or 12 foot. So we bought 8 foot, and then he's gonna have to cut some to put them on the end down here to fill it in. But it is looking good and it's coming together really nice. Good job, honey.
Almost done.
Yep, almost done. Yay!
All right, well, it's the next day. We ran into a bunch of stuff yesterday we had to take care of and weren't able to get the meat shawl done. But I was able to, this morning I got the rest of the roofing on and I was able to get the handles done and the pole bar. So this is just a piece of 3/4 inch conduit that is 5 feet long. And thankfully the spacing of the frame was just a little bit under 5 feet. So I was able to just drill some 1-inch holes in the end of these boards, and didn't come all the way through. So the handles just captured inside the inside those holes. So everything's on and ready to go out in the yard, and well, out in the field, we're debating on where to put the birds.
All right, we have the meat shawl or the chicken tractor ready. Well, it's kind of like a chicken tractor. And this is my first time ever dealing with meat birds, but I'm gonna load them all into the poultry crate and get them put out on the grass. So we'll see how this goes. I'm kind of nervous. It's okay. It's okay. Hey, Athea! I'm gonna get Athea to come help me so she can open and shut the door. It'll make it easier. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Okay, because they're hard to do by myself. Okay. Okay, good job. They're so hot. Good job.
Watch out, little guy. Put your head in there. There. Donner.
Open them more.
Well, we just got them out to the yard,
To do it.
and
It's okay. Look.
Tara's getting them out of the crate and dipping their beaks and
You gotta dip their little head in there.
see what they think.
And they're staying right
The
there.
dogs are highly interested.
Here, put your little head in. Ow! You gotta get their wings.
Full turd.
Yeah, that's why. You're like, well, why does it hurt? That's why. This is small. You should have gotten this one.
Ow! Come on, little guy. Come on. Come on.
Good job, Thea.
The last one.
Okay, let's go get more.
Man, he did not like that.
Who, Dawn?
Also, want to see.
That lit him up, man.
All right, you do the door. You ready?
Right on the nose.
All right, so I wanted Nick to get a chance. Oh, look at you. Good job, honey. They are like 900 degrees. They're so hot. Good job, Thea.
Yeah.
What do you think, big guy? Huh? I don't know if we told you all, but these are all roosters. We kind of waited too long to order them. And so, good job. So by the time we got them, all they had left were roosters, or were boys.
All right, last box. They don't like to come out of there anymore, and they like to go in there.
Come on. Look at them.
So here's what we did. We got a hanging feeder there, and I put one on the other side. I mean, sorry, water. And then we've got this 3-gallon up here that's just flat, sitting out in the yard. Wanting to see what they kind of gravitate towards. And we made up a couple feeders. I took a 10-foot PVC pipe, cut it in half. Well, I glued some end caps on, cut it in half, and so this is half of what we have. So we've got what, 4 or 5 foot feeders.
Yeah.
And I guess the idea, we'll probably push the shawl back and then push these under and then pull the shawl forward a little bit so they stay out of the rain. We'll see what happens here if the chicken touches that fence. So they seem to be happy. They're hanging out. Hopefully that's high enough. It's about 14 inches off the ground. And I don't know that they're gonna get any bigger than that. Any bigger than the 14 inches, I should say. But most of them are undercover, mostly because of this doofus over here barking. But yeah, so far so good. Of course, it's only been about 5 minutes. Look at this one. He thinks I got something here. I don't have anything for you. I don't have anything for you. I hope they feather out and get a little better looking. All right, well, it's been about an hour or so. We pulled the shawl forward to take a look at the amount of food, and they've got that one about halfway gone. And I don't think they'd really seen this one, so we put it down in front of them. Now they're starting to eat and drink a little bit more. So, but still seem happy, and they're doing a lot of scavenging, pecking at the ground, and just being chickens. So far so good. Well, we came out to check on them. It's about 9 o'clock. It's getting late. It's about time for bed, I guess. Everybody is laying down. I noticed that they're all laying in the cut grass. No one's over there in the high grass. So curious how this is going to play out. I may have to get the mower and knock the rest of the yard down before we move them tomorrow. So we'll see how it goes.